Hey everyone, Grand Slam Hungary in the works, day one, all done, and Abe Hifumi taking gold at under 66, so we'll go through all of his fights from the beginning to the end, take an extended look at the final, and overall just a really dominant performance. He's an interesting judoka. You can kind of see him like, he only engages when he's ready, and when he engages, he goes on his own terms. It's very rare that you see him in a gripping exchange or in a situation where he's in danger, right? Because if it's not on his terms, he's getting out of there pretty quickly. And just look at this spectacular, I guess I would call it a sode, but in Japan people will refer to it as a katsugi waza. So watch what he does with the sleeve. He kind of shoots his elbow through, so it's not your classic sore surikomi goshi, it's not your classic morote seoi nage, but because he does it in this way, he's never going to get a shido by going against someone's elbow, he's never going to injure someone, he's never going to get hansokumake. So people out there doing sore surikomi goshi, do it this way instead, because the refs, they are all about penalizing people who injure people's elbows at the moment. So round 3 now. Second fight for Abe as he got a bye going into the contest against Aliyev from Azerbaijan. And this attempt here, I mean, it would get a wazari back in the day, but because there was a pause in the action there, wasn't given a score. But it didn't take Abe long to kind of start doing what he does again and actually get a really impressive score. So Abe does this a lot these days. People are defending his sore surikomi goshi, and what he does is he likes to mix it in with an osotogari. So he steps his leg across, he's still got those like double sleeve grips, and it's basically a hybrid technique. So when he goes in, it could be either or, and it's hard to explain, but it almost looks like it doesn't matter how the person reacts, because if they react one way, they're going over for the sode, and if they react the other way, then they're getting their leg chopped, as you see here, and he just goes in that way. So impressive techniques by Abe. I'm really starting to see over the years that he's just relying on his unique techniques. He stops kind of doing generic techniques that everyone does, and he's just focusing on his ultimate weapons, right? And that is this one here, mixing in the sode with the osotogari, and you'll see later on his ochigari as well. So next up against Gambold in the quarterfinal, and I like this fight. I like this fight because Abe, he's a close range fighter. He likes to get in there. He likes to stab his hips in between his opponent's legs or across their bodies. And Gambold, he's strong. He's used to this with wrestling in Mongolia. And no score for Abe. So this was kind of a battle of stamina. Who could dominate the grips? Who could look more aggressive? And at the end of the contest, it was definitely Abe's game. He knows what to do. He's a complete veteran at this point. Still relatively young, but he has so much experience that he can just rely on. Looking for a big Ippons seoi nage now. That would have been pretty impressive if he got him loaded up onto his back. So it's about this point now where Abe starts to take control of the match, puts in a few good attacks, not getting a score, but still, Gambold going down to the ground here. And for Gambold, I mean, look, you went quite a long time against Abe Hifumi, you didn't get thrown, lost by shido. It wasn't like he was running away or anything, he was legitimately trying to win the match, but it'll be good experience for Gambold. And you can just see Abe, he's so strong, he's a little bit shorter than Gambold, but definitely a lot more muscular, a lot more stronger, and definitely faster, and has a stronger grips as well. So important in judo. So here's that shido, and Abe into the semifinals. Semifinals now, and obviously going up in the rounds, you would expect the competition to get harder and harder, but this was probably the easiest match for Abe. Not too sure why, but I mean, it's Abe after all. Sensational ippon here. That ochigari that he does, hand around the back. He does it as a defensive maneuver, and I've got a breakdown video about Abe and all of his tactics his grips, his strategy, and his throws. So if you want to check that one out, please do. The final now against Subhanov from Uzbekistan. Had a pretty crazy upset over Margavlashvili. We'll look at that in another video. But this is their first meeting, so it's always interesting to see people meet up for the first time. And you can see here Abe employing that strategy that he loves to do, right versus right or left against right, and that's getting that sleeve. And that sleeve, I mean, it sets up everything. He starts his Sorisuri Komigoshi from it, mixes in the Osoto well, and Subhanov, he just can't get it off him. But Subhanov, he does kind of well to adapt, doesn't get into the same situation in this next gripping exchange, but Abe, a little bit of Ashiwaza, puts him down, resets, and that sleeve grip, it'll make its return very, very shortly. But Subhanov trying to make it difficult for Abe, and you can see the tactic. He's trying to go for that top grip, and if he goes for that top grip, Abe has to use his right hand to defend, and he can't grab the sleeve if he's defending that top grip. So good strategy by Subhanov, but Abe knows what to do. He knows exactly what to do. He's going into stage 2 of the tactics now, which is kind of retreat, looking for that sleeve, and he's going to jump in to defend with the Ochigari. Here's that big hand over the top as well. And look at Abe, he's just pushing him off in directions, making sure he goes down. Very, very good at defending the top grip is Abe. You will almost never, and I mean never, see him with someone just comfortably with a top grip on him. He is the master of just not being gripped in the way that you want to grip him. Incredibly, incredibly good at it. So here's that sleeve grip that he's got now. Took him a while to get it. Subhanov, he did well to kind of push the pace, try to get that top grip, force a different gripping exchange. But it's all Abe now. Guess it was Ari here. But in this next exchange, it's all over. Doesn't take Abe long to figure out his opponents. Look at that. That's just ridiculous. Come on. That was huge. Let's have a look at it again. This is absolutely ridiculous. Next level, one-handed Soresuri Komigoshi. So Subhanov, he tried to jump over for that top grip, and Abe said, I don't care about your top grip. You're going flying. So that's Abe, complete domination, I thought. Very, very good return to the mat as Olympic champion. Legend of the game. So like, subscribe guys. I'll see you guys soon for more videos, of course. And yeah, peace. See you in the next one.